This is the journey to One Africa.
Right now, what does history tell us you about Africa? Who discovered Africa? If you write right now on Google who discovered Africa, you find out that it's one white man that he came and discovered Africa. And you can ask yourself that how can you discover a place that already exists? How can you discover a place that people already live in that place? It is impossible, but that's what the history tells us. That's what people believe about Africa, that it was discovered by a white man. This guy, he came, and then he went back, he gave a report, and then the next we know is colonialism, because those guys, they sat somewhere to divide Africa like a piece of cake, because they discovered it, they own it, it belonged to them. But that is us. We discovered it. We're the first people to know. And today you have a lot of people around the world that they think that Africa was discovered by them.
Are you?
Hey everybody, how is everybody doing? I'm so glad to be back here, and I'm so glad that you guys are joining here. So welcome everybody from Facebook, Swahili Nation, YouTube Swahili Nation, X Mika Chavala, Instagram Mika Chavala, and TikTok Mika Chavala. Welcome everybody. We are live in all these different platforms, and I'm just glad that you guys are here. You're joining a family. Appreciate everybody who is joining. We're going to have very serious talk today, and very important talk, I think, which is very good, especially if you had an opportunity to join me live yesterday when I was doing this live stream across the street of Addis Ababa and all these new corridors that have been built. There's a lot of things I shared there, and I want to digest today by breaking down one thing after the other one. So welcome everybody. If you're joining here, I'm so glad that you're here. And let me just, raise a word of prayer, and then I'm gonna go ahead. God, I thank you for today. I want to appreciate you for this family joining me right now from all these social medias. God, I just pray that this session will be productive. And I pray that as we're listening and learning and, and hearing one another, you'll give us understanding. Most importantly, not just to entertain ourselves, but to bring about change into our communities, into our societies, and to be the fuel of change, to be the change that this continent desperately need. God, I pray for your wisdom and I pray for your guidance of the Holy Spirit. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. So I appreciate everybody who is joining. For those who are liking and sharing the stream, I appreciate you can do that actually. You can go ahead and like this stream and share with somebody out there who is not here. Invite them because we're going to have very nice chat today. And most importantly, you guys, you can as well share your opinions in the comment section. As usual, how are you guys doing today? Let me start with the small note because we're gonna have a heavy topic here today, but I should start with that. How are you guys doing from whatever you are? If you're in the continent or outside of the continent, let me know in the comment section a little bit how you're doing. I will start by expressing myself. How am I doing? I'm doing great. I'm doing good. I'm in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, and I've been having good time. Today I had a lot of time to rest, actually, because I think I haven't had rest for a long time. So I rested today right here. And this evening we just came from one of the weddings because apparently here in Ethiopia on January, there's a lot of weddings happening in January. And I was asking why. They told me it's because of the weather, right? It's because of the weather. And they told me another second reason, but because also the fasting has just ended. So there's a lot of marriage and a lot of weddings happening in January. That's why even Yeshi Gabicha, we're doing it on January 26th. So a lot of weddings happening. So I had an opportunity to go to one of the weddings. I just came from there actually. I love the food. It was good. It was really good as well. I've learned a lot of things there. Just being there on the ground and seeing how things are being, done. And I was like, wow, you never know. Perhaps you never know. We have to learn from things like this sometimes. So I had a very productive day. How are you guys doing? How was your days? Um, I appreciate the family. Family is always in the room, man. It's always happy to see family. Marit, Reggie, it's good to see you guys. I see here Fitsum in the um, comment section. And yeah, Reggie family saying that all is well here in Lexington, Kentucky. We had a big snowstorm and now it's starting to melt. Wow. Wow. Can imagine how cold that will be. How you guys doing here? TikTok family, how you guys doing? Instagram family, how is everybody doing? Let me know in the comments section. I'd love to know that. How you guys doing? It's good to see everybody. It's good to see. All is well. All right. So that was simple talk to just know how is everybody doing. I see some people here. Let me shout out here from TikTok. I see Lily Yegeta just commented, some love emoji there and laughter. Salam, salam. Say salam. I see Retina there. I see Marit joining as well. I see Teddy Manke. Say Mika bro, big respect back to you. Just want to shout out to my people. This, here on TikTok. I see love from Rwanda. Rwanda. Kizara Mugisha, I'm right here, man. I miss Rwanda. Yoni, salam, 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 salam. By the way, right now, my name is Hele Jesus. Because every country I go, I have my name. I have my Rwandese name. My Rwandese name is Kwizera Mugisha. I have my Ugandan name, Bagomera Binji. I have Nigerian name, Chinedu. I have Ethiopian name, Haile Jesus. So yeah, the love from Jamaica, Sisara from Jamaica. That's really good. So guys, as you continue to spread some love in the comment section, let me just say this, that 2025, as you guys see here on the screen, is the year of high standards. And the topic I'm going to talk about here today, basically we say tagline, we say Africa must uphold ourselves with high standard of accountability and responsibility. And that brings us to today's topic. This topic, I started to break it down yesterday. So just in case if you're not on my live stream yesterday, Please go back on this channel. We'll see live stream yesterday. By the way, I think I uploaded the video as well. I'm going to release, I think, after this live stream. I'm talking about, basically, I'm digesting about 3 enemies of Africa. Who are 3 enemies of Africa? And this is what I say. I'm going to ask you guys as well. This is my opinion, right? My opinion is not Bible or Quran that it can never change. No, it can change. But you guys, I want to hear from you as well, because we learn from one another. Who do you think are the enemies of Africa? Top 3 enemies of Africa. You guys let me know in the comment section, because we're learning from one another. I mentioned yesterday, and today I'm going to start breaking down with the first enemy. But from your knowledge, from your understanding, who do you think is the first enemy of Africa? I mean, 3 enemies of Africa. You let me know, and I'm going to start breaking down. Somebody here on TikTok say American. That according to him. Somebody studying, he say the West. All right. Elsa Beth, he say Western people. Somebody here, I cannot read this name, say poverty. That's the enemy of Africa. Lenzi on YouTube, say ourselves. Okay, people from X, people from Instagram, let me know what you guys think. Somebody here says East Africa. So East Africa is the enemy of Africa. All right. Okay. Who else? Caucasians, Arabs, and Chinese. Michael Royo say those are the enemies of Africa. This is very interesting. So, guys, I'm asking you to share your opinion, because I want all of us to see how we think and how we think about these things. Very important. Thinking is very important. Somebody here, Nari from TikTok, say education. All right, that's the enemy of Africa. I've asked 3 enemies of Africa. So try to name 3 enemies of Africa. Just want to learn from y'all. Enemy of Africa is our own Africans and our minds. All right, that Kara Rukota Masi from Rwanda and Congo. Unbelief is the enemy of Africa. That's from our sister Marit, the team right there. I'm from America, but lives in Africa. All right. Non-progressive thoughts are the enemies of Africa. Non-progressive thoughts are the enemies of Africa. All right. Somebody here on TikTok, Elsa Beth, say, and our laziness. So our laziness is the enemy of Africa. All right. Our laziness is the enemy of Africa. Somebody here is saying black, white, orange. All right. Those are enemies of Africa. All right. Fitsum Kidane Maria say our enemy, our mentality. Say our mentality is the first enemy of Africa. All right. We are not innovative and open-minded. This is Kiflu K. We're not innovative and open-minded. All right. That's the enemy of Africa. Okay. Let me see there. Brain drain. It's the enemy of Africa, from my brother Birhanu Minaru. Okay, they are on TikTok. Okay. So those are the enemies of Africa from your opinions, right? What do you guys think? Who are the enemies of Africa? I believe that you always think about this. Maybe you talk sometimes and you know somehow. So I think this is the time to, share your opinion as well. Who do you think are the enemies of Africa? All right. So guys, you've heard, all these different opinions. Some people believe that Caucasians, Arabs, and Chinese are the enemies of Africa. Some people believe America is the enemy of Africa. Some people think that us Africans are the enemies of Africa. Some people think that the poverty is the enemy of Africa. Not having progressive thoughts. Some people think that is the enemies of Africa, and so on and so forth. So yesterday I named, in my opinion, 3 enemies of Africa. I started by mentioning what Julius Kambarage Nyerere mentioned a long time ago, who are the 3 enemies of Africa. So he said it is poverty, and then he said the second one, disease, and then he said ignorance. According to Julius Kambarage Nyerere, he said those are the enemies of Africa: poverty, ignorance, and diseases. But my 3 enemies of Africa, the first one I think is mentality. Our mentality, our own mentality. I think that is the first enemy of Africa, our mentality. Like before anything else, before looking at the Western or Eastern, before looking at anyone from the outside, before looking at who is doing what, before looking at the leaders and hold them accountable, I think the first enemy of Africa is our mentality, because even those leaders, they have their mentor, right? So I think like we have mental issues. It's not something good to talk about it, but let's just address the fact, because we always say that we're going to be brutally honest with ourselves. As a man thinks, Thank you, Reggie. So he is. So if we think that we are poor, for example, right now, just say the first enemy of Africa is poverty. That means you think that Africa is poor. So you are poor. And that's why you think that is the enemy of Africa. But poverty has never been an issue in Africa. Let me break it down to you today that poverty has never been an issue in Africa because Africa is not poor. Because Africans are not poor people. Africa is not poor. That's what we have believed for so many years. But Africa is not poor, and poverty is not the enemy of Africa. Africa and poverty is like two different things. It's like East and West. You know, East is Africa and West is poverty. We are far away from something called poverty. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like Africa and poverty, I know for so long time, if you go on the media, if you go on the social media, Africa and poverty, they'll always stay on the same line, on the same sentence. When you say Africa, you're going to say poverty. You're going to say poor people. But these are two different things. They were never meant to be together, and they're not meant to be together. But why are we putting them together in the same line? Because of our mentality, because of what we believe inside of us. And so that's the way it is. Because if you believe you're poor, then you'll be poor. And you're going to run away from your country and run away from your continent, try to find better life somewhere else that you believe they're rich. It's belief. It's belief. It's like religion. Belief of Africa's poverty is actually a religion. It's a multi-billion-dollar business to so many people out there. Africa has to be poor. I'm using these two fingers. To be poor, Africa has to be... Oh, what is going on? All right. Africa has to be poor. You understand? Africa has to be poor for a lot of things to move on in this world. For us to remain in the same state we are, for our mentality and our mental, we should not think out of this box of poverty. You know, a lot of time people, they say we should think outside of the box, but you know, here on Swahili Nation we say, why are you in the box from the first place? You should not just think outside of the box. You should not be in the box from the first place. So we have this box of poverty in Africa, and our mental state believe in that. Everything we see is poverty. Everything we hear is poverty. Everything we eat is poverty. But poverty has never been the enemy of Africa. It will never. It has never, and it will never. But it's the manipulation of few individuals who want to take advantage of this continent that poverty is the enemy of Africa, and you can put all of them in the same sentence. But I rebuke from today, and I call upon all Africans never ever to mention Africa and poverty in the same sentence, because this is not true. It's just not true. I've traveled a little bit. I've been in 7 countries right now in the continent, and I've seen nothing but wealth in each country I went. Even when I go to countryside, I've seen just wealthy people. I've seen just wealthy land. I've seen just wealthy culture. I've seen just wealthy resources. That's the only thing I've seen. But the good question is, why are we living like slaves while we're kings? Why are we behaving like slaves, but we're kings? Why are we behaving like we are poor, but we're rich? Why are we living that state? And the answer is our mentality. And that is the first enemy of Africa. And that's what I want to break it down to you today. Tomorrow, if God give us opportunity, we're going to talk about the second enemy of Africa. But today, first enemy of Africa, mentality. Why are we living like slaves, but we are kings and queens? Why are we living a poor life, but we're rich and wealthy? Why? 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 It's because of our mentality. So I made one video before, and I read this quote. I hope I will find it here. It's about when you meet someone. Thank God I found it. Let me show you how mentality works in Africa. Listen to this. I'm reading from the book of Poverty Within, Not on the Skin by Erastus Mtui. Really nice guy. I'm actually going to have a meeting with this guy because he wrote an amazing book. Let me read for you this. He says, a friend of mine used this analogy in one of our discussions. If you find two Africans in a deep pit trying to get out of it, just lower down a long step ladder as if you want to help and go away, because they will not come out or will take some time to come out. Either one of them trying to go up the ladder first will be pulled down by the other person. This is the crab in the bucket mentality at its best, where the idea of if I can't have it, neither can you prevail. So you have a ladder pulled down in a long pit to help some African folks who are down there and they cannot help themselves. Either one of them might never come out. Or why? Or they'll be late to come out from that pit, come out from that danger, to come out from that darkness, to come out from that death. Why? Because some other folks that are down there, if I try to climb that ladder first, these other folks, what they'll do is they will pull me down. They'll do everything they can to pull me down. Why? Because perhaps they want to go them first, or perhaps they want all of us to die inside. If I can't have it, you cannot have it. Why you should go first? Which we do not see in other culture, like Chinese, like Indians, like, Arabs. Like, we don't see that kind of culture. We see a culture of helping one another. If somebody's up, if somebody's down there, you know what they do? They come down and they pull each other up. I've seen that in our community. Somebody had a big business in our country. He was Arab descendant. This guy, he went bankrupt and he was about to close this industry because he couldn't handle it anymore. Guess what happened? Fellow Arabs, they raised money and they gave it to him to continue the business. Say, don't sell this one. I know I can buy it, but don't sell it. Keep doing it because this is for you, your family, and your descendants after that. You see in other community, but you don't see in African culture. Why? Because of our mentality state that if I cannot have it, nobody can have it. Like as if, and that's why it's very difficult in the continent even to raise some funds for some things. If there's an anger happening in Malawi and you're trying to raise some funds for Malawi, I'm telling you, you won't see Africans doing that. Perhaps you see diaspora. To be honest, I got a shout out to diaspora. Diaspora, they're always on the phone line to do that. You see diaspora contributing a lot, but people in the continent, you find them doing nothing. Why? Because they don't care about what is happening in Malawi. They have their own issues. They have their own troubles going on. This is poor mentality. That, I don't care what is happening in my neighbors as long as I'm safe. Which you do not know that if your neighbor is not at peace, you can never be at peace. If your neighbor is not at a good state, you can never be in a good state. If your neighbor is in danger, you are in danger too. So the better thing you should do is to keep your neighbor out of danger, because the safety of your neighbor is also your safety. And that is Ubuntu. And that is what is supposed to be in this continent. But our mental state, our mentality towards supporting each other, pushing each other forward, celebrating one another when something good is happening, praising one another, holding hands with one another, supporting in business, I have business, starting a bit, supporting it, being there for one another. We don't have that. You're very focused on small talks, focused on small things, focused on very little things about me, myself, and I, my country, my people, my family. And you don't remember that the entire continent of Africa, at its best, is also your family. So mentality is the enemy, and we see that everywhere. That's why I'm not talking even about, even when you go to leadership, even when you go to just normal Africans, common Mananchi, the same thing is mentality. Mentality is what causes those who are in power, to constantly look for aids and loans somewhere else while looking down inside the continent. Okay, I'll tell you this, guys. that I've learned this something when I went to Rwanda. When I went to Rwanda, I've learned this that there in Rwanda, I've learned that in Rwanda, when investors come, all right, investors from different countries, there's a law that you should have this number of Rwandese in your company, including the top positions of these organizations. And if the local people get into trouble with you, then you'll be held accountable because they don't allow the local people to be mistreated. That not just from different races, but even to themselves, Rwandese. Like there's a law for nuns, like nannies. Yeah, there's a law for nannies. Those ladies who are helping out with their housework. If you mistreat them, the country will actually hold you accountable, and you might pay a lot of money just by mistreating those who are working for you, like taking care of your babies, washing your clothes, cooking food for you. There's a law for that. So as a result, all investors and also one of another very important that if you come and invest in a country, then do not just invest and take the money out of the country or resources. No, you have to teach our people that knowledge as well. So I visited this one hospital. It's originally from France, but it's a like medic facility where a lot of Africans are going there to learn and to study how to do surgery and everything. And the teachers there, professors who are coming there, lecturers, they're actually top, top doctors and top professors from so many different universities across the entire world. They come, they train our people there, and they have that knowledge of doing surgery. And whether it's from South Africa, Ethiopia, you can actually go to your country and do that. So there's this transfer of knowledge from the investor to the local people. This is one of the law as well, that if you come to invest, you have to know that you will invest your knowledge as well to our people. So that one day when your contract ends after 50 years, you're not just going to leave and close your industry, but our people will take over and run that industry like never before. So these are terms and conditions of investment in Rwanda. And what does that do? That means, yes, you're welcome to come to invest, but we are going to benefit from your investment more than you will. Okay, you'll benefit it and I will benefit it. It's 50-50. I'll get yours. These are kind of things that even myself, I agree. And I say yes to that. You know why? Because it's very important to, it's always very important to learn. And that's why I love traveling, because whenever I go, I get to learn and get to understand people and I get to connect with people, which is very important in our lifetime, right? So this mentality thing is what is causing us to be where we are today, and is what is causing us not to go where we're supposed to be or where we should be. So you find a lot of young Africans, this is a very concerning thing right now. A lot of young Africans, their dreams and what they want is to get out of this country. It's getting hard in here. Just give me a second. To get out of the continent, guys. Yeah, a lot of young Africans, their dreams, they want to get out of the continent. If you find teenagers, all of them, they just want to finish high school and to go to abroad. And not for the sake of getting the education and everything, because education apparently is worse here in the continent. Not because of that, but for the sake of just getting out of their country, getting out of their nations. They feel unsafe. They feel it's just, it's not convenient for us to be here. I would rather go there and find a job there and work there and have my family there. And you have some African couples who actually move to United States when they're about to give birth to babies so that their babies can be American. And then they'll come back, but their babies are American. It's a status. It's a status. But why being Africa is not a status? Being African is not something to be respected? Like if I walk in the room and everybody introduce themselves and I say, oh, I'm from Africa. Why do I have to feel inferior? Just the fact that I'm coming from Africa. This mentality. Why do I have to feel like I'm the least among all these different races we have in the world just because I'm black and I come from Africa? It's the mentality issue. So perhaps you can blame that, because of the system of the past and everything. But I'm telling you this, man, right now, it is our responsibility to hold ourselves into high standards of accountability and responsibility. And that begins with our own minds. Right before I point fingers at anyone, I should look down in my mind and realize that, oh, you know what, I'm messed up. Because when I'm pointing fingers, I don't realize that how many fingers are pointing back at me at the same time. So as we pursue and move towards this year of high standards, we're almost done with January, guys. We have to remind ourselves, what is your mind like about Africa? What is your mind thinking about Africans? What are you thinking about your own country? What do you think about your own nation? What do you think about your own people? What do you think? What is your mind like? Are you only thinking about your race? Are you only thinking about your tribe? Are you only thinking about your country? Are you only thinking about your religion? Do you constantly think that, oh, we are better than you, I'm better than you in this and this? Is that your first thought you think about? Because we're not in the game of competition, but we're in the game of lifting each other up. In the game of promoting one another. We're in the game of celebrating one another. If you have a talent, and I have my talent too, you know what I'm saying? Your talent shouldn't intimidate me. Your fame shouldn't intimidate me. Your business shouldn't intimidate me. Your charisma shouldn't intimidate me. But rather, I would celebrate with you. Because you might be good in one area and bad in another area, and I'll be good in one area and bad in another area. So we should celebrate one another, and that's why it's very important, this message of One Africa right now, it is very important today, because it's not about competition, but it's about celebrating one another. It's about using the gifts that all of us have been blessed with to lift each other up and to change this continent, because the continent is not poor. I say this again, you should never put these two words in the same sentence, because it's not true. That's not true. All these people who are coming to the continent for tourism, for vacation and business, how can you do business in a continent that is very poor? How? The most poorest continent in the world. If you look at the charts, if you look at Africa is right there. How come you do business in a poorest continent, the continent that doesn't have good environment for business? No, something is wrong somewhere. We should never agree with that, because there's a good environment for business in the continent, and this continent is not poor. It has so much richness, and they know. So you can't blame them. They are opportunists. We should focus on that. We should be accountable and responsible for this continent, and not just accountable. No, we should hold our high standards. That's why we say this is the year of high standards of accountability and responsibility. Not just shallow, but high standard. We go deep, go all the way in, all the way up, all the way, everything. BJ says this, that we need a reality check, decolonize the mind. What other group make in our mind better, even when it's inferior? Why we can't discern the difference? Absolutely. And let me remind you guys that, that is actually our mission here in Swahili Nation. This is our mission. Our mission is to defend the image of Africa and bring back all the heritage of Africa, plus sons and daughters of Africa. And then we have decolonized the mind through authentic knowledge, is what we're talking about right now. We're in our mission, and create a bridge for oneness and peaceful Africa. Why? This is the last one, because you cannot create a bridge for oneness and peaceful Africa if you did not decolonize the mind, if our mental state has not changed. The battle, it begins here, and this is the first enemy of this continent. Not whites, not Asians, not Chinese, not Caucasians. No. Those are not the first enemies of Africa. First enemies of Africa is our mindset. Because of our mindset, we think that without them we cannot succeed. We need them to come and help us. We need them to contribute their money for us. Even themselves, they have issues, they have problems. You want America to donate, 50 billion US dollar to your continent every year, while they just had crisis in LA right there, and they need support. So yesterday I said this, I mentioned this, that the thing is this, that receiving aids and support It is bad for Africa because it has been extreme and it hasn't bring any change to Africa. It made us dependent to them. It made even our kids dependent to them. Today you go around the street. I was very ashamed. And let me say this, man. I know a lot of Nigerians might be watching this, but I'm going to talk about this experience. I was very ashamed in Nigeria. Very ashamed. I love that country, to be honest. And I fell in love with those country. And I'm going to talk positively about that country. But my best friend married a white lady from Sweden. Everywhere we go, as long as he's with that lady, the price of things goes like 3 times higher. Do you know why? Because looking at that white lady, they know that, oh, she has money. They think that she has money. So we have to rip her off. We have to take as much as money from these guys. So there were some places that we had to go and to keep the lady in the car because we did not want to get that. Everywhere. That is the biggest problem, guys. To be honest, I've never seen the extent of that. Everybody asking for money. Everybody. When I was going there, my friend warned me. He said, my brother, when you get to the airport, if you have any money, you have to hide somewhere because they'll ask you for money. And some of them might even search you for money. I did not believe that. I did not believe. I went to the airport. Guys, I went to the airport. Let me just give credits first. Visa on arrival in Nigeria, it was good. I stayed there for 1 hour, but it was good. Those guys were really helpful. They came straight to me. They're like, oh, welcome, 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 sir. Where's your passport here? Okay, here's the form. Please fill it out and wait over there. I was here in the visa on arrival waiting room. I was the only black man, and I had like hundreds and hundreds of Chinese together going to Nigeria. I was the only black man. Imagine, in Nigeria, African country, hundreds and hundreds of Chinese, they were full in that room, and I was the only African there. But the service of those guys who were dealing with visa, it was perfect. I was surprised. It was really, those guys, they just helped. Like, man, I was like, okay, I think this is the easiest immigration I've encountered so far. I will tell you the truth, man. The easiest immigration I encountered so far, it was in Nigeria. So far, I went to so many countries. I'm saying this again. The easiest immigration I've encountered so far, and I had no issues, it was in Nigeria, Abuja, to be specific, Abuja Airport. Those guys, shout out to you guys. Those guys were very helpful. And because I already had this mindset that, okay, they'll ask for money, but nobody asked for money, and they just did their job very well. Very well. So kudos to that. Okay, I gotta give flowers before I give thorns, all right? So, just a second. Just a second, man. For me, when it comes to family, I don't let them wait. All right. So after that, I walk out of that immigration room, visa on arrival. Kudos to you guys. So I'm passing with my passport there. That's where I started. 2 guys stopped me there, and they're like, "Hey, where are you from?" I'm from this, and why are you here for? I came for my best friend wedding. And this one guy, he was asking, Happy New Year. And then I started to think about something. I was like, this guy is being too nice to me. Is this just normal? And I was like, all right, let me just keep it up with this mood. And I was like, oh yeah, Happy New Year too, sir, everything. And then they kept me there for a while, and it was like, oh man, can you bless me? This is, his 1 year and everything. I acted as if I don't know what he meant, and I said, God bless you. And then this guy was like, are you a pastor? You're not a pastor. And I was like, man, I just want to bless you. God bless you so much. I walk out. I took my passport. I walk out. I went, I was walking outside, and then I'm meeting other guys, who are checking the bags and see if this is the right bag for me, asking for money. I'm going out. I'm finding my friends. my friend cars. I hold my bag and I'm going there, and just people are coming to me. They're trying to help me, and I'm holding my bag. I'm like, man, I don't need help. I'm just finding my friend. They're coming to me all the way to my friend's car, and we got inside the car already, and this guy is asking for money that he helped me. I not asked for help, and he just tag along somewhere while I was walking. All right, I got inside and we started to move, and they saw this white Sweden lady. They started asking money. Okay, we need money, man. Money, money, man. Bless us. We just walk out everywhere, every time. And I was asking myself, I see this in a lot of African countries, but I've never seen to that extent. I mean, if you're in Nigeria, I think you understand and you can agree with me. I'm not talking just bad things about Nigeria. I'm talking the reality. But I was asking myself, what is the problem? Okay, we went to the store to buy a fridge for my best friend's mother, family. We bought. These guys who are selling to us, the floor manager is asking for money. And I'm like, man, you're a floor manager. You're working here. You're being paid for what you're doing. Why are you asking money from me? They want money. These guys who are working there, they're being paid there. They have to pick up that fridge and put it in the car. They put in the car. They ask for money. Oh my God. And then there's people standing outside there. They were watching the car. Nobody asked them to. But they're sitting there just, they're just waiting or walking. They're asking for money. Man, everywhere. Everywhere. Okay, we went to, I had to check my Nigerian card. We registered my Nigerian card. And this guy who is registered, he said, okay, we need this amount of money for the card. I paid. And then he already registered me. He's asking for money. Please bless me. Bless. Man, you are doing your job and you're making money, but you're still asking for money. What kind of mindset is this? And this is just in one place, but in a lot of countries in the continent. The mindset of asking all the time for money, the mindset of seeing the white collar and think that, oh, they have a lot of money, I should ask, I should increase the price. Where is this mindset coming from? We think that they're better than us. We think they are more rich than we think. Africa is poor and they are rich. So when you see them in the continent, they have a lot of money. No, man, come on. What kind of mentality is this? This is a messed up mentality we have, we as Africans. And that's why I said this is the first enemy of Africa. Our mentality, how we think about these things, how we process these things, the first enemy of Africa, not anything else. So I think you guys, you understand now why I have to, we have to redefine our mind. We have to transform our mind by this truth, nothing but truth. Masil Nahusinaye says, absolutely right. We keep saying Ethiopian weren't colonized, but mentally we are. This is the hard truth. The way we Africans treat each other is also shameful. All right. So, Masil, please help me. You say that mentally we are not free. We are colonized. You're speaking about specifically Ethiopia. Break it down. Why do you think mentally we are still colonized? Why do you think that? I want you to give me some meat to this point so that we can help one another. Shame on us, Zuzu men, exactly. Shame on us. Shame on us. This culture of asking for money all the time. And that's why we're being treated like slaves. Because here on the streets, you find people asking white people money all the time when they pass by the street. And you have some, I've seen a lot of vlogs, man, of white people when they come in the continent. You see, they give shoes, they give out shoes and they film it. I give shoes, and this one lady, she was giving test. I gave my own shoes. Now I'm walking without shoes because I look at these kids and I was like, man, they don't have shoes they're walking on. Okay, I should give my shoes and I should feel how they walk without shoes. And then we say, well, who is destroying the image of Africa? We are destroying it because we don't have high level of responsibility and accountability. That's not what we think about. That's not what is in our brain. I don't know why. I don't know why we don't have people who have strong desire to see change in this continent. Because for me, to be honest, when I see that, I'm really painful. I feel like it's been done to me. You know what I'm saying? I was giving this testimony yesterday that somewhere in South Africa, the Indian community actually built the place for all Indians who are not able to afford homes or rent homes or build homes. They build these big, amazing apartments for all of those guys to live in there. You'll never find Indian begging on the street. You'll never find, because another Indian will go and help that Indian before they go outside on the street. Because being outside of the street begging for money, it's a shame, not for a single person, for the entire race, Indian race. The same thing to Arabs. But why are we doing that? Why we don't care? Our mental state. That's why in our mission, decolonization of the mind is one of our first priority. That it's no longer time to beg, it's no longer time to ask, because on the street you have people asking, you know, whatever they see, light skin color, asking for money. They think they have more money. And as well in the States, you see our leaders are asking constantly money from them. The same problem in different stages. Self-esteem has to be built up by each other. So true. Marcel, she says she's trying to answer me with that question, say that mentally we are colonized. You have been to Ethiopia, Mika. I'll give you only 2 examples, all right? Give it to me. Mika, you should see how the Amish people unite and help one another. We need to adopt that. Absolutely. 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 And that is starting by you being here, subscribing, liking, and sharing this video. Because this message, I'll tell you the truth, guys. I'll tell you the truth. Find right now on the entire YouTube anyone who is doing live stream and talk about what I talk here on Swahili Nation. Fine. Right now. You won't find it. Because these are not popular topics. Because these are not topics that, brings a lot of viewers to your channel. These are not topics that are the most entertaining topics. No, they're not. That's why you find yourself, you're here. Very few people. Why? Because of what I'm talking about here. But a lot of people, they have to get this message. Our people have to get this message. Because the change in our country, if you want your people not to kill one another in your country, we just need to change our mental that when I see a different race from me, when I see the different tribe from me, I don't see an enemy, but I see a friend, I see a brother, I see a fellow countryman. That is mental. You can't blame leaders for that. You can't. You cannot, guys. You cannot. In my country, like more than 60 million people. I can't blame leader for everything that is happening in the country. No, I'm transforming and I'm transferring. No, I'm transferring my responsibility and my accountability to somebody else. You can't. No, let's be realistic, guys. One leader can take care of 60 million people. It's just not possible if these people are not mentally free. It's just impossible. You can talk, you can tell them that, guys, please do not kill one another. No, people deep inside their brain, they believe that you are different. You are lower standard than I because I'm coming from this tribe. You're coming from that tribe. No, you're coming from this country. I'm coming from this country. No, we're 2 different individuals. You should never. That's how people believe in their softwares. How can you change that? How are you going to change that? One person cannot change that. That is the response. That's why I say this year of 2025 is the year of high standard of accountability and responsibility, that we should hold each other accountable, each one of us, to change and transform these communities. If the family can do that, that means our family will be free. If you can do that, you and your friends will be free. Then if leaders can do that, our people will be free. But it starts from the bottom ground. Start from there, from us, from how we treat one another, how we teach our kids, how we teach our neighbors, how we talk about these things. Are we teaching hatred towards one another? Are we telling each other about the history of the past, how these guys, they killed us? Or are we telling about the stories of a triumph, how we worked together in the past and we won the battles? What are you teaching your kids? What are you teaching your friends? What are you teaching your neighbors? It falls down to that, guys. Our mental is the first enemy of this country. And for this, everyone, even me, I am responsible. Everyone, even me, that's the first enemy of Africa. How we think. How we think. How we think. Very. All right. First one. Marcel Nausier, he said, when Orthodox Christian celebration held, the whole media will only interview white people just to get an approval. How beautiful and wow it is. Which it is, why do we need their approval? Wow. Actually, that is so true. That is so true. And that is not just in Ethiopia, but everywhere. I see even in my country. When you have like matches, you know, soccer in my country is very popular. So when you have like some, you know, white people coming and watch the soccer, you find media constantly, you know, finding these guys and interviewing them, and not even the local people because of the ratings. That is so true. That is so true. Our people should always come first. Our people should always come first. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that other people should not be cared for. No, you guys, you know my message. It's not about hatred towards any race. No, I love it. I don't have any problem with any race. I don't have any issue. Any issue. That's why my best friend married a Swedish, sweet lady. And I love her to my heart because she's an amazing individual. It's not about her being white or no, but it's about who is this person deep inside her. Who is she? Who she is. That's why here we have our sister Marita has been part of the family from the Netherlands. Some of you are very uncomfortable because of that, but she has been the pillar, strong pillar in this family more than a lot of Africans out there. Some of them, they walk away, but she's always been there. Don't have any second agenda, just a single agenda. She wished the world for Africa. You have those people. But what I'm saying is this, that if we cannot learn how to love ourselves, if we cannot love each other, then we are hypocrites by interviewing and showing and loving others while we don't love ourselves. And I will speak this to even white people and Asian, that if you see that, you should be very careful, because that is not love. They're looking for opportunity to get something out of you. If it is money, if it is whatever, if it is approval, that is just, you know, sell. It's just a business. It's not because they love you. No, it's because they want something out of you. So you should not celebrate. And as Africans, we should not celebrate either. None of us. Because I'm looking at you, you're like a vending machine. You're like an ATM. We just put the card and then I'll get money out of you. That's how I look at you. So you should not like, oh, wow, they asked me for money. No, 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 no. They don't love you. They want your money. And that's what I'm saying, that if we cannot learn how to love ourselves, how to support ourselves, each other, how can we love somebody? How? Why we don't know how to love ourselves? It's not love. It's a scam. It is a scam. That's basically what I'm saying. So the love for African people, it is very important for the entire universe. Because if we love ourselves, then our love to others are genuine. But right now it's not, because we're pulling each other backwards. Okay, second point, she said this: any elite in the university will tell you how great his work is because Mr. White person ever said so. Okay. Wow. That's interesting. That's interesting. Number 3, you can also see DSTV in Ethiopia. The shows that is made by Ethiopian is copying the West, taking them like they are our benchmark, washing our culture and religion. All right. So let me address that a little bit. I've seen that all over the continent when I go here and there, copying and paste. For me, it is a problem when we do not have our own taste, when the basic foundation is not about us, but is about them. For me, it's a huge problem. I don't say that we should not collaborate. I don't say that we should not help one another with different continents. I'm not saying that. But it's a problem for me if that is the foundation of your economy. That is the foundation of your country. That is the foundation of whatever you do. Because if that foundation is broken one day, you cannot stand on your own. If they say today we're not giving it to you, cannot do anything. I remember the story of Muammar Gaddafi. A lot of African leaders, when those things were happening, they decided to leave and to go to Libya to have a conversation with Muammar Gaddafi. Guess what? While they were on the way, they received a call from one of the international countries, and they told them that you have to turn around right now. Otherwise, that's the story Yoweri Kaguta Museveni was giving when he was in the Pan-African Parliament in South Africa. They say every single leader with the title of presidency, they turned back and they went back to their country. Why? Because they were threatened. You cannot dare to go to Libya and support this man. That's what I'm saying. That's what having the foundation of the West in your country is from the, or having the foundation of somebody else and not you can do to your own people. And especially in the critical condition like that, eventually Muammar Gaddafi was killed, and that was the biggest mistake ever happened. Because you can see where Libya is today, you can see where African Union is today. Muammar Gaddafi was contributing a lot of money to the African Union organization, and we let him go just like that. Yeah, guys, first enemy of Africa is our mindset. Tomorrow, God willing, I'll come back here to share about the second enemy of Africa. And the other day, I'll talk about fighting the last enemy of Africa. Everybody will be touched in this. I'm not going to leave anyone. Everyone, you, me, and everybody else. Time to fight the first enemy of Africa. And let me add there that the time to fight the first enemy of Africa. Let me write here in the title, mentality. And right here, the title, mentality, or our mindset. It is time to do that. It is time to do so. High standards, 2025. Yeah, guys. So I hope this, it gets to your system, it gets to your software, it gets to your brain, it gets to your heart. You can evaluate yourself here, can evaluate yourself and think about that. You know what I'm saying? Each and every single one of us have to evaluate ourselves. Even myself, when I'm talking about this, I'm not removing myself from this equation, because to some area I might be still colonized in my mind and in my mentality. Sometimes I expect worse from my own people. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how it turns out to be, but I expect that sometimes, and that is mental issues as well. So this is not something to point fingers at anyone out there, but all of us, we are accountable. That's why I say this is the year of high standards of accountability and responsibility. I should take responsibility with this mind. And that's why I try to read books as much as I can to change my brain, to change my mind. I try to travel and to meet people, different people, as much as I can. And I try to do what I can do as much as I can. So what are the step forwards are you going to take after evaluating yourself and knowing that, okay, this is my issue, what am I going to do? It's good to see you, Ziggy Flix. It's good to see you, my brother. What is one of the ways that, or what are you going to do? Let me tell you this, guys. Just pointing fingers at somebody else, accusing someone else, it is the biggest sign that you're not okay. It is the biggest sign that you have a problem. Blaming others, even when they do something bad, it's the biggest sign to show that something is wrong with you. Because that is the mentality of not being accountable. That is the mentality of finding excuses. That is the mentality of shifting a ball to somebody else. You don't want to work on that, you're pushing it to somebody else. That is the sign that something is not good in your software. Pointing fingers, blaming somebody else. You should always ask yourself, what can I do better? Okay, we have a problem now. Okay, what can I do better next time? And then that's why today, the first enemy of Africa, some of you thought I would be talking about the Western influence in the. No, that is pointing fingers at other people while we have issues, our mentor. So first is here. First is here. So look at your pardon. Pardons. When you want to work on something, do you point fingers on other people? Do you blame other people first? Because if you do so, then it's a sign that you have a big problem in your mental state. Why we cannot be accountable? Why? The same thing happened in the Garden of Eden. God told Adam that, hey, you cannot eat this fruit at the center of the, this fruit of good and evil. You cannot eat it. You cannot eat it. The Satan came, as the woman. The woman, she took the fruit and she ate. And then she brought it to her husband. Her husband ate too. And they realized that they were naked. God, as usual, came to the Garden of Eden. And he was calling Adam, Adam and Eve. Where are you guys at? What was the response from Adam? Adam is saying, oh, I hid myself because I just realized that I'm naked. No, God, he asked him, where are you? He did not ask him, how are you? No, he asked him, where are you? Where are you, Adam? It's the question of position. Like, Adam, where are you? Like, Adam, I thought you were my son. I thought you understood what I said. But where are you, Adam? Like, not I don't see you in the Garden of Eden. No, I don't see you in my presence. Where is my presence in you? Where are you, Adam? Like, God is looking with all his presence and all his loving and kindness, and then you don't see Adam. Adam has always been there. He's been chatting with God. Remember, there was a time where God, he made all these animals and everything, and then he brought to Adam, and he asked Adam to name it. So Adam participated in the creation of animals. Adam was like, this is lion, and lion became lion. This was elephant, and elephant became elephant. So Adam was actually chit-chatting with God all the time because he was always in the presence of God. That's why he did not even realize that he was naked. Now, he abandoned the commandment that God gave him, and God is asking, where are you, Adam? A lot of people, they think that was the question of, like, where are you in this Garden of Eden? No, God can see us everywhere. He was asking, like, that question, it meant this. Where are you, Adam? It meant this. Not where are you as a position. No, it meant Adam. Why have you done that? Where are you? I don't see you in my presence. When I came to the Garden of Eden this time, I used to have chit chat with you, but I can't see you. The frequency is off. It's like the Wi-Fi just cut off. I'm saying, where is the Wi-Fi right now? Where are you, Adam? The Wi-Fi is there. It's actually there. You can see it, but it's not connected. So that was the question God was asking Adam. Where are you at? And Adam, he said that, oh, I realized that I'm naked. I hide myself and whatever. That was not the question he asked him. He asked him, where are you at? So if Adam was smart enough, he could have started to apologize at that time. God, I am sorry I ate that fruit. I am sorry that I did not hold on to your commandment. I am sorry that I did as I wanted to do, and I abandoned your commandment and I followed my will. I am sorry that I've done the very thing that you asked me not to do. Perhaps God would have forgiven him. But you know what Adam did? When God asked him the second question, after failing to answer the first question, he asked him the second question. Why did you eat the fruit I commanded you not to eat? Look at the answer of the Adam. Adam, he's like, it is because of this woman you've given to me. And that is my point. You see where the problem is? Why did you eat? God is asking why. Why? Like what? Why? It means the purpose. What was the purpose of you eating? Why? I told you not to eat, but you ate. Why? And this man is saying, it's because of the woman you've given to me. So Adam, he has a problem in his heart. Already the presence of God left. He removed himself from the presence of God. And therefore he became dumb. He don't even know how to answer. Where are you, Adam? Oh, I thought I saw myself, I'm naked, I held myself. That's not the proper answer to answer. Why did you eat the fruit that I commanded you not to eat? Oh, it's because of this. The man without the presence of God is just a fool man. And these are kind of response. Adam, the man who named all the animal in the Garden of Eden, is answering to God because of this woman. Okay, look at this. God is going to woman. God is still just go along with that mentality. evil mentality of Adam. He went to the lady, woman, why did you eat the fruit that I commanded you guys not to eat? Oh, it's because of this snake. They put a blame on somebody else. Instead of looking deep inside of her heart that, oh, I was actually deceived and I allowed to be deceived. Because at that time, man, there was no sin in this world. There was no sin. Nothing like that. They're living in the presence of God. So she decided, and that is the free will that each and every single one of us we have. So some of us, we choose that free will to attack others and to put blame on others and not take responsibility and be accountable with our own actions and our own thinking and our own thoughts. We put that blame on others. I'll tell you the truth. If you're the kind of person that you always put blame on other people, your mental state is not okay. Please sit down, pray, and ask yourself as many times as you can, because you need to change that. You're not okay. Even if people, they're telling you things that you've never done before, they're telling you things that they done does not concern you. You don't have to blame others. That is just show how painful you are. So I think I break down this first enemy of Africa as much as I can. And now it is up to you, Africans. It is up to each and every single one of us to improve and to be better people for this continent, to be the better people for our families, for our friends, for our communities, for our regions, for our countries, and for our continent, and for the entire universe as well. It is up to us to work on that. It is up to you. It is up to me. Because all of us, we have something to change, and we can change, and we have to. If you want to hold our leaders accountable, if we want to change this continent, we just need to change our mindsets. I'm telling you, when our mindset are changed, we're not going to compete or settle for anything lesser. No, don't settle for anything less than your value, but you can only do that if your mental state is somewhere else. No, we're not going to settle for this corruption in our countries. We're not going to settle for bad leaderships in our countries. No, we're not. Why? Because our mental state, we're not going to settle about killing one another and putting blame on other people. No, we're going to take responsibility and stop killing one another. As simple as that. If you want your country to change, it's very simple. Just stop fighting. Just stop looking at other people like they're lesser than you. Just stop. Just stop that and everything will stop. It's as easy as that. Don't buy that. Even if somebody come and promote and want to do something, just don't buy it. It will stop. But we have not yet decided that. That's why we are where we are today. Oh, all right. I think I've said enough, guys. I am currently living in Uganda, Kampala. I always try to make a conversation with border guys about Africa, Ethiopia, Uganda marriage. I cannot tell you how much we challenge and love each other. Clean black sneakers. Every day we wake up with a choice and a chance. Oh yeah. Time and chance happen to every single one of us every day. For me, creating this kind of connection is so beautiful. It will enable us to know each other better and love one another. Thank you, Mika, for bringing this issue. Amen. Glory to God. It is the people who make the changes by the way we treat one another. Appreciate that. So, guys, let me send my gratitude to the family and everybody who joined here. Appreciate the family who joined here today. You guys are the rocks of everything that is happening here. So thank you, Tim, BJ, Clean, Reggie, Marit. Thank you, Tim, for always being there. And also thanks for the new names I see. For example, Marcel, you have been very active here. I hope I'll see you often. Zuzuman, and the rest of everybody. Okay. See, Mika, what is the main mission of Kechiga company do? Kechiga company do? What is that? That was the question, eh? Kechiga company. Kechiga company, what do you mean by Kechiga company? I mean this Ishigabish I'm talking about as a continental ambassador? I don't know Kechiga company. What is Kechiga company? I don't know that. Ah, okay, you're talking about that, the mission. So, and that's what brought me to Ethiopia, because on 26th of January, we'll be having Yeshigabicha. Yeshigabicha, it means a marriage of 1,000, like 1,000 couples from all over the continent of Africa gathering together to celebrate their union. So we need 5 couples from each countries in the continent to sign up for that. There's a link in my videos down in the comment section. You can find it out. You can sign up. Actually, you can sign up through www.yeshigabija.com. You can sign up there, and you'll be able to. If you're a couple, let's say you got married recently and you love to celebrate that union, somewhere else, this is an opportunity for that. So 5 couple from each countries, there'll be free accommodation for 6 days and free tour, of the beautiful city of Addis Ababa. The city of light, guys, by the way, that's the new nickname of Addis Ababa. I named it, so remember that. You give me I need my, what is that called? Trademark. All right, city of light. I went today in another side of Addis Ababa city as well. It's lightful everywhere. And I just shared the video here on YouTube and on my social media that it's actually the actually command of the government that all the buildings that are here in Addis Ababa, they should have that light outside, but also the colors of the city is white and gray of all the buildings. So the city actually looks good. There's a reformation of this city, roads and everything. It's looking great. It's looking amazing. Yeah, so this is the city of light. You know what I'm saying? So for that wedding in Shigabija, if you want to participate, you'll have 30% discount of the airfare. But also, one of the mission why we're doing this, because I was talking to President earlier today, and he said they were telling me about the expenses of wedding, for example, here in Ethiopia. And I know in a lot of African countries as well. In Ethiopia, he said just the simple wedding might cost like $20,000. It's crazy, it's expensive. And the wedding might go for all the way to 6 months, because you'll have wedding, and then after 3 days, a lady will go back to her parents, and they'll go back, other people will have another, celebration, their reception. And then after that, you start moving to go to aunties and whatever, have reception. It might last even for 6 months, but it's very expensive. So a lot of people, they decide not to get married because it's too expensive. The bars are too high, too expensive. And I don't know why people are complicated these things. Because I can imagine, man, in my wedding, he'll be like, I'm not gonna spend money. I'm not going to spend money. I don't even know if it will be even $5,000. You'll not reach there. Not just having few people, and having a pastor there, marrying me and my beautiful future wife, and we eat there together, and then I'm out. I'm going for honeymoon. I don't want disturbance. That's it. Simple and clear. Just like that. So because of that, that's why Yeshigabicha comes. That, okay, you might get married, but you want to have reception. You can have reception with other fellow Africans from all over the continent, standing together here in Addis Ababa in the Millennium Hall on 26th of January, and have celebration. Actually, 6 days prior to that, just visiting the city and enjoying here and there, and then having that celebration with your fellow Africans. And he said, the president was telling me today that he did that because it's too expensive for a lot of people to afford the wedding. And that's why this is being done here. You don't need to pay anything. You don't pay anything. And that's why I'm an ambassador, a continental ambassador of Yeshigabicha. Because of that. Building a family is building a nation. That is our motto. So I think I explained that very well. So guys, come on in. All right, guys, we have links in the comment section. You can join membership, you can join Patreon, you can join PayPal, you can use Super Chat, Super Chica, Super Sticker, Super Thanks, and everywhere on TikTok and other families as well. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Thank you so much. Let me bless you, and then I'll get out of here. God bless you. May God bless you. May God bless you for being here, for standing here with me, for praying with me, and praying for me. I love you guys, and may God bless you, and may God remember everything you've done. The sacrifice of your time, that is more important than anything else. You staying here, sticking here and watching this stream, it costs time. So thank you for giving me your time, and I pray that God, you may bless them and remember the sacrifice they've made today. In a precious name, Christ, I pray and I believe. Amen. Amen. All right, guys. God bless you. TikTokers, let me say bye to you guys first. I love you guys. I'll see you guys. You can follow us on social medias, Mika Chavala, Swahili Nation, YouTube as well. You'll find a lot of contents we do there. So I'll see you guys very soon. And my people here on X, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, I appreciate you guys for coming by, for stopping by. It has been a great time. It has been a great time of Connect and just digesting the first enemy of Africa. What I'm gonna do tomorrow, hopefully I'll come back here again, the same place, possibly the same time as well. We'll be talking about the second enemy of Africa, digesting that, and I'll be hearing your opinion as well. Guys, I appreciate, I love you. Please stay safe out there, and continue to keep me in your prayers. Very important. I really need your prayers. All right, I love you guys. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, 93% of people who are watching our channel, Swahili Nation, have not yet subscribed. Only 7% of the viewers in this channel have subscribed. What does that mean? It means a lot of people are coming in this channel to watch videos, but they do not want to be engaged, to be a part of this family and to support this movement and what we're working for towards One Africa in our generation. So my request to all of you guys, if you really like our content, you like what we're doing here in Swahili Nation, please do me a favor and subscribe to this channel. Don't do just that. Turn on the notification button. Don't stop there. Like the videos we share. Share with your friends. Leave your comments, your opinions, so that we may actually interact in the comment section, know what is happening. If you would like to support us even more financially, you can join the Patreon. The link is below. And also you can join us and become a member of this family. So please, guys, do us a favor. When you subscribe, when you like, when you share, you help us to reach to as many people as we can. We want this world to be filled with the positive message about Africa and One Africa, and we want the message to go all across the world. So help us by becoming part of this family. I love you. So Africa, a place where poverty and pandemic diseases are originated, the least wealthy continent per capita, the land where the only things to be found are animals, corrupted leaders, poor kids, dirty water and civil wars, people who are in need for help, donations and support, aka the NGO's motherland. For others, honestly, Africa is just a very hot, dark and sad place everyone wishes to escape one day. Well, whether you're an African or not, this thinking isn't new to you, because you have read, heard or felt the same way before. Just type the word Africa on Google right now. Turn on your TV and see what the NGOs portray. Watch movies from Hollywood. Ask your mama, friends, or ask yourself, what is Africa? Yet if you're still struggling to believe, let me ask you this. What comes to your mind when you hear the word Africa? Tell me the first thought that comes to your mind right now. Honestly, tell me right now. But what really is Africa? What is Africa? Listen, there are many theories about the name, but one that is close to the truth is Al-Kebulan. This name translates to Mother of Mankind, or according to other sources, the Garden of Eden, the place where love, peace and unity dwells. Al-Kebulan is an extremely old word. Many nations in Africa use this word, including Ethiopians, Nubians, Moors and Numidians. For me, this isn't just the theory, but the truth. My truth I choose to believe in. As cliche as it sounds, that's the future I'm hoping for. The tomorrow I'm fully determined to see. The dream I am convinced and dedicated to fighting for until it happens. What is Africa for you?